What was the cringiest thing you did in your first relationship? Throwaway account. I lost my virginity to my first girlfriend in the cringiest way possible. We were in missionary position and the moment I penetrated her, I kind of fell on top of her softly and cried out, "There, I gave it to you." It being my virginity. I don't know why, but I was emotional about it, yeah. I cringe extremely hard whenever I think about that moment. Edit. Obligatory. Wow, I did not expect this response. I am glad a lot of you got a good laugh out of it. Just to answer a couple of questions, I was freshly 16 at the time and thankfully, my ex-girlfriend did not care at all. Hopefully she never remembers that moment, because it has seared into my brain. I got my first girlfriend at 18. We'd been hanging out and talking a fair bit, and then we went to a friend's beach house with a bunch of other friends to spend the night and party a bit. We end up sharing a bed because she doesn't really know anyone else super well, and as we are lying there I put my arm around her and she snuggles up closer. That was already more than I was planning to do, and it went pretty well, so I didn't want to push my luck, but then she says, "You know, you can put your hand anywhere you want." I don't want to push my luck too much, so I just put my hand on her boob over her shirt, and then she says, "I mean anywhere." I think, duck it, I'm in too deep to back out now, and go under her shirt. So far so good, but then I do the cringiest thing I have ever done, and hopefully will ever do. I give her boob a squeeze, and say noot noot. Like ducking Pingu. She thought it was hilarious, but a couple of my friends overheard it from the next room over, and they still haven't stopped giving me hit for it about 3 years later. TL. Doctor, noot noot the boob boob. Edit. Thank you random strangers for popping my gold cherry twice, one for each noot I guess. And thank you /poem_ for _ your _ sprock for blessing me with my very own poem. I shall treasure it forever. I also apologize for all of the spilled cereal, coffee, getting in trouble at work or school, and for the one dude who choked on a tram. But I'm glad you all got some joy from my weird but pickup routine. Not a Reddit. Should tag this comment note safe for work. When I was 14, I stood outside for my then girlfriend for like 2 hours, just to see her come outside. She thought it was creepy, and we broke up after 2 days. Edit. I just remembered this. I got on one knee to ask her to date me, as if I was ducking marrying her. I suppressed that memory for a while. Duck. Second edit. Holy cow, 20k upvotes. Glad to know that knowing absolutely nothing about girls got me invisible points on the internet. Thanks everyone. I wore a floor-length leather jacket to our first date because the Matrix was really cool at the time. Edit. Glad to see that I wasn't the only one digging the Matrix look. To answer some questions. I was 15 at the time. My mum bought it for me from a leather shop in Glasgow, which makes the story either better or worse, your choice. There was no second date. And to all the people quoting Sunny in Philadelphia and Grandma's Boy, yes, I have robot legs and no, I didn't burn the duster. We were 16, and we both loved sushi. After payday when I'd go to our favorite spot and feed sushi to each other for hours, one roll at a time. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, we would kiss each roll before shoving it into the other's mouth. Edit. Great. Now this is how I make my mark on Reddit. To answer a few repliers, no, we were not fat. I'm white, she was Asian, not that it matters. We made it 6 years before it ended, and although some were cringy, I have tons of sweet memories from this time in my life. But still, lots of cringe. I sat in the car with her for an hour debating whether I should kiss her. I debated out loud too, no joke. I was literally like, I could kiss you now, but should I? Dear God, why did she ever date me? There was this guy that I used to make out with that lived on a lagoon. We knew another person that lived nearby, so we could use her paddle boat to pass by the back of his house. We didn't see him out in the yard, so desperate and hormone-fueled young me starts yelling his name to see if he'd come out. This was pre-cell phones. I yelled and yelled for a long time, doing circles in the paddle boat, and the friend I was with was like, dude, give it up, he's not home. but he was home. He told us later that his whole family was sitting down to eat and heard me screaming his name over and over like a ducking cat in heat. So embarrassing. My ex's mom wasn't a big fan of me, so I wrote a 13-page paper introducing myself and proving why she should give me a chance. Edit. 16 pages double-spaced / Edit 2. Here's the introduction upon popular request. We weren't official yet, so when he held my hand in public I told him we can only do it for 5 seconds at a time and I would literally count down, out loud, the seconds. Yeep. We still joke about it, and I still cringe. This was less a relationship and more a crush. He was walking me to the subway station, and I wanted to hold his hand. I reached for it, and he just kind of kept his hand stiff. So I walked with him with our palms flat against each other's, held out in front of us. Why 15-year-old me, why? When I was 14 I had this boyfriend and we used to have pretty standard makeout sessions after school. Well, we would be in the middle of kissing, then he would get up, say he had to use the bathroom, come back and start kissing me again. This would happen over and over. So one day I'm like, why do you always go to the bathroom when we are making out? And he looks visibly uncomfortable and just sort of shrugs. I started thinking he had bowel problems. Then later I was talking to a male friend about it, and he told me my boyfriend was probably disappearing into the bathroom to jerk it. I didn't believe him, and was convinced for the longest time my first boyfriend had like IBS or something. Now I look back, and think I was a little naive. Edit. To be fair, he never told me himself what he was doing in the bathroom, so it's really anyone's guess. The cringiness in this experience pertains to the idea that if he was leaving to the bathroom to take care of himself, so to speak, I was very young and didn't realize it. I was under the impression that my boyfriend took a lot of hits. Driving back from the drive-in theater, she takes her bra off under her shirt because it is uncomfortable, and my next move: turn on my Barenaked Ladies CD and recite all of 1 week. I don't think I hit the high notes in the purest form, as it didn't seem to have the intended effect of wooing. I was too clingy and insecure. He would hang out with his friends and I'd text him, "Hi, do you remember me?" I was just this psycho bee. I would not date my younger self. For some reason I pretended like I didn't ever eat. I would never eat around them. It makes me cringe to think about it now. First relationship, 14 years old. With the girl for a few weeks, and decide it's time to find out what's under her pants. Watched PP before, so I knew, but you know, never touched it. Touched it, audibly said, "Wow, it's squishy." She still brings it up 15 years later, we are still friends. I cringe every time. Homecoming dance. First kiss of the relationship. I wanted to try and do the thing from the movies where you passionately grab the other person on both sides of their face and pull them into a dramatic kiss. I ended up smushing his face to the point where he looked like he was sucking on a lemon and got pushed into a glass door. He was nice about it though. The second kiss was much calmer and sweeter. I had a crush on a girl, and after years of innocent flirting I didn't know how to take the next step, so one day I text her, "I love them big ol' boobies of yours," and she never spoke to me again. I still cringe thinking about it. It was just so out of the blue. I was just so stuck in this innocent flirting mode and didn't know how to take the next step, so one day I just decided I would take a trust fall, and I fell flat and hard, lol. She asked me out over Snap by saying, "I want to date you." I thought she was joking. I was thrilled because I like her a lot, but didn't want to jump into saying yes and have her just be kidding. So I go downstairs and my reply was me holding a bag of prunes, and I say, "I don't have any dates, but I have prunes." I'm not proud of my actions and I have no idea how we are dating as of now, but yeah, that worked. Edit. I'm glad Reddit liked my, dare I call it, signature move. Also a huge thank you /you/poem_for_your_sprog for the amazing poem. I follow you and love your work every time I come across it. I feel honored. Edit 2. IDK if anyone will be notified of this edit or ever see it again. But it's been a year, and I'm finally gonna get a bag of dates. We will be together a year on the 24th. Please subscribe to Reddit Throne. Please subscribe to Reddit Throne.